Now the Ironside is a dark Panama hat, and I don't do a lot of dark ones because mainly darker hats get hotter, but there is an advantage to a darker hat, which is the hat looks smaller. So this hat's essentially the same as the Quaker King, pretty much exactly, but it's done in the grey weave, and as a result it looks quite small on my head. I'll show you. This is the Quaker, big hat. And this is the Ironside, and it's inobtrusive in that sense. So it's still got a strong diamond crown. It's quite powerful and really handsome, but 7 centimeter brim, done in the bristle weave. So really hard wearing, durable, feels nice in your hand. But the dark hat thing, sometimes it's just perfect because a lot of people, if you've got like a stronger face like me, then you want to have a diamond crown. It just looks more handsome. And you may feel the hat looks too big, and Australians, we're notorious for having low set hats. It was part of our culture. We're the lowest hats in the world, and we blended our culture with the American style, which is the tallest hats in the world. And in between, I do things like this, which is a balance between the two. Now, when someone walks into my shop, I remember in Hawaii, people would walk in and they'd walk over and I'd hear their Australian accent and they would just go straight to this hat. And same with New Yorkers. People from New York would go straight to this hat as well. And it's because there's that black, grey, white culture where everyone's got a very sort of sleek, minimalist vibe going on. And this hat is very, very sharp. So it feels like the 1940s. Where we live, it's Burke Street, right? Burke Street in Melbourne, everyone wore this style of hat. Grey suit, grey hat, it was kind of the uniform of that time, from the 40s through the 60s really. And it's perfectly balanced, nice diamond crown. It feels in the hand dense. Got a nice density about it. It feels strong, but it's still supple and it'll curve to you, but it will last a long time. The main problem I had with doing grey hats was that everyone told me I couldn't make a grey hat because grey dye didn't stick to Panamas very well. And it's true, but after a lot of experimentation and lots of variations, we've come down to this steel grey. There's some older versions and different sort of versions as well, which are a little bit lighter in the grey, almost like a dove grey, and it will fade over time. Like I had a guy in here last Sunday, and he was wearing a hat and it had faded into a kind of a creamy, kind of almost taupey grey, and it looked fantastic. He loved it. It was his favourite hat, and he'd been wearing it for maybe 10 years, and he bought another hat, but not this one. He was very happy with his Ironside, and it's just really good. If you want a dark hat for whatever reason, this one's fantastic. The other one that's really good, which I'll mention, is the Mandrake. Now the Mandrake's a more European style in the crown, but it's this gorgeous 4 colour of blues, indigos, soft greys. But in Melbourne, this is what I sell. And when people came to Hawaii, if they were from New York, they'd buy this hat. And it's just sharp, well dressed, handsome, dark, smaller. I love him. So yep.